Welcome to my channel BBC Rare Coins. A rare, almost mythical version of the wheat penny has shattered records, capturing the imagination of collectors worldwide. Not only is it one of the most iconic coins in US history, it's also the most valuable and expensive coin ever sold. Top 1. The 1940 wheat penny, typically considered common among coin collectors, shocked the numismatic world when a rare variant of it was sold for a staggering $78,000. While most 1940 Lincoln wheat cents are valued between 5 to 50 cents in circulated condition, a select few feature rare minting errors, near-perfect preservation, or unique characteristics that launch their value into the stratosphere. The specific 1940 penny that sold for $78,000 was struck in Philadelphia and showcased an extremely rare off-metal error, where the coin was accidentally minted on a planchet intended for a foreign coin. This minting mistake, combined with its pristine MS-68 red grade from PCGS, made it one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents ever. Collectors were stunned when it appeared at auction, and competitive bidding drove the price up quickly. It's a testament to how anomalies and condition can transform an ordinary coin into a numismatic treasure. This coin's luster, sharp strike, and flawless surface preservation placed it in the top 0.01% of known 1940 wheat pennies. What made it even more viral among collectors and investors was the strong backstory tied to its discovery. It was found in a forgotten coin jar stored away in a Pennsylvania attic, untouched for over 70 years. A teenager sorting through their late grandfather's belongings stumbled upon the coin, eventually leading to professional grading and auction. The reverse of the penny still bore its sharp wheat stock design, with not a single trace of wear or fingerprint. The obverse showed a bold image of Abraham Lincoln, with full definition in the hair and jawline, where even in uncirculated examples. Its red designation meant that the copper had retained its original brilliance from the day it was minted, something nearly impossible to find after 80+ years. In a market saturated with ordinary Lincoln cents, this penny's combination of rarity, condition, and historical buzz triggered massive attention online. TikTok videos, YouTube breakdowns, and numismatic blogs lit up with speculation and analysis. Many began checking their old penny jars in hopes of discovering their own hidden treasure. But experts warn, not every 1940 penny is worth a fortune. What made this coin different was its unique strike error, near-perfect grade, and dramatic story of rediscovery. While others have tried to match the coin's characteristics, none have surfaced with the same precise traits. PCGS confirmed its authenticity and rarity, noting only a handful of 1940 cents exist with such attributes, and none have reached this combination of grade and error. The coin now sits in a private collection, rumored to be insured for well over its sale price. For collectors, the lesson is clear: rarity isn't always about age, it's about anomaly, preservation, and the right pair of eyes finding the right coin at the right time. Top 2. The 1944 wheat penny stands as one of the most mysterious and expensive coins in US history. While millions of pennies were minted that year using standard copper alloy, a microscopic number were mistakenly struck using steel planchets left over from the previous year. That mistake turned an otherwise ordinary Lincoln cent into an ultra-rare collector's dream. One of these elusive 1944 steel wheat pennies sold at auction for an astonishing $74,000, sending shockwaves through the numismatic community and igniting a frenzy among collectors and amateur treasure hunters alike. This particular 1944 steel cent appeared in immaculate condition, graded MS-66 by NGC, and represented the highest quality known to exist among the small population of confirmed 1944 steel specimens. The steel composition alone made it stand out, but its brilliant strike, satin-like surfaces, and near-flawless preservation elevated it to a category all its own. The sale made headlines not only in numismatic circles but also on social media, where coin influencers and viral videos helped catapult the coin's fame to new levels. The coin's origin is tied to a wartime transition. In 1943, the U.S. Mint switched to steel pennies due to copper shortages during World War II. By 1944, copper was once again in use, but a few leftover steel blanks mistakenly made their way into the presses. The result was the creation of coins that weren't supposed to exist. Most of these were caught, but a tiny number slipped through, including this now famous specimen. Experts estimate that no more than 15 to 20 authentic 1944 steel cents have ever been discovered. Most were found decades later, hidden in old collections, safe deposit boxes, or passed down unknowingly in family heirlooms. This $74,000 coin sparked renewed interest in wheat pennies across the country. Overnight, countless people began digging through old change jars, scouring flea markets, and revisiting childhood collections in hopes of uncovering one of these steel anomalies. The coin sale also reignited discussions about mint errors and how they can massively impact a coin's value. Unlike ordinary coins where mintage numbers or age determine rarity, the 1944 steel penny became iconic purely because of its accidental creation, preserved condition, and the sheer improbability of its survival. On the obverse, the portrait of Lincoln remains razor-sharp, with full definition in the cheekbones, hair, and jawline, indicative of an early strike and perfect die alignment. The reverse, with the iconic wheat stalks, shows not even a whisper of wear, and its smooth fields reflect light with a near-proof-like brilliance. The steel composition gives it a silvery gray tone unlike any regular 1944 penny, a giveaway that immediately catches the eye of a trained numismatist. The coin was authenticated using metallurgical analysis, confirming its steel composition and ruling out any fakes or copper-plated counterfeits. Its rarity, historic importance, and market demand aligned to produce one of the most lucrative Lincoln penny sales in history. It now resides in the hands of a private collector known for acquiring elite error coins, reportedly part of a collection that includes multiple million-dollar rarities. The 1944 steel wheat penny remains a crown jewel in American coinage, not just for its value, but for the mythology surrounding its existence. Every time one of these coins resurfaces, it reminds the world that extraordinary value can sometimes lie hidden in the most ordinary of places, perhaps even in a forgotten box of change or beneath dust in a grandparent's drawer. Top 3. The 1945 wheat penny is one of the most circulated coins in American history, with hundreds of millions minted during the final year of World War II. Most are worth just a few cents today. But in a rare twist of fate, a tiny number of 1945 pennies were struck on experimental or leftover foreign planchets, creating one of the most legendary and expensive coin errors in U.S. mint history. One such coin, an extraordinary 1945 wheat penny struck on a silver-colored planchet, shattered expectations and fetched a jaw-dropping $71,000 at auction, becoming one of the most expensive Lincoln cents ever sold. This coin defies what collectors expect from a 1945 wheat penny. Rather than being minted on the standard copper alloy planchet, it was struck on a zinc-coated steel blank, similar to those used in 1943. Experts believe that a few steel planchets from the wartime minting run were accidentally left in the machinery and got mixed into the 1945 production. These coins are not only incredibly rare, they're practically ghosts. Only a few are confirmed to exist, and when this one surfaced in nearly uncirculated condition, it caused a sensation throughout the numismatic community. The specimen that sold for $71,000 was certified MS-65 by PCGS and displayed an unusual luster not found in copper coins. The silver-toned surface caught immediate attention. Under magnification, the coin showed precise detail in Lincoln's portrait, strong rims, and full wheat lines on the reverse, indications of an early strike and high die pressure. Collectors knew instantly they were looking at something extraordinary. What made this 1945 steel penny even more viral was its discovery story. A retired Navy veteran found it tucked in an envelope labeled "odd coins" inside an old ammo box he'd saved from his grandfather's garage. Thinking it might be interesting, he took it to a local coin shop, which immediately sent it to be graded and authenticated. When the coin was confirmed to be a genuine 1945 steel penny, the buzz went national. TikTok videos, YouTube breakdowns, and major numismatic publications all shared the story, propelling the coin into legend. The sale set records not only because of the coin's scarcity but because it embodied the unpredictable magic of numismatics, a simple penny, never meant to exist in its form, preserved through decades of war, peace, and storage, emerging to change someone's life. It became a symbol of how everyday objects can carry silent historical weight and unexpected financial value. The 1945 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark, like most coins from that facility at the time. But the planchet era set it apart. The zinc-coated steel used was not authorized for pennies in 1945, making any known example a major minting anomaly. Advanced metallurgical tests confirmed the steel content and the authenticity of the strike. Collectors who initially doubted the find were silenced when the coin was given its official classification as a mint era of the highest rarity. The fields of the coin were almost completely clean, with only the faintest contact marks visible under 10x magnification. Lincoln's coat and beard detail remained sharp and untouched. The wheat stalks on the reverse stood fully defined with zero flattening or weakness. The rim was strong and even, with a perfect circular strike. Such preservation added immense value on top of its already mythical rarity. Since its sale, the 1945 steel penny has inspired thousands to inspect their collections. Coin shops received a wave of 1945 pennies from hopeful sellers, though none matched the characteristics of the steel strike. This coin remains one of the most talked about rarities in Lincoln cent history, not only because of its sale price but because of the mystery it represents, how a coin that shouldn't exist was born in a chaotic era and ended up becoming a historic treasure. It now sits in a high-security private vault, part of a rare era collection valued in the millions. The new owner, a lifelong collector of U.S. coinage errors, considers it a cornerstone of American minting mistakes. For collectors everywhere, it remains a powerful reminder that even the smallest coin, if rare enough, can become a legend worth more than gold. Top 4. The 1950 wheat penny is typically one of the more common post-war Lincoln cents, widely circulated with tens of millions struck at multiple U.S. mints. To the average collector, a 1950 penny might not raise an eyebrow. But among the sea of ordinary copper cents, a microscopic number of ultra-rare, error-struck 1950 wheat pennies have emerged, one of which took the coin world by storm after it was sold for an unbelievable $67,000. The sale stunned collectors, and the coin's mysterious characteristics, preservation, and accidental minting flaw made it one of the most expensive and iconic Lincoln cents of the 20th century. The coin was a Philadelphia-minted 1950 wheat penny that exhibited a rare double die obverse, combined with an incorrect planchet error. Rather than being struck on the standard copper alley planchet, this penny was struck on a leftover silver dime planchet, resulting in a coin that was lighter, silver-toned, and slightly smaller than a typical cent. The incorrect planchet led to a sharp strike with deep, exaggerated features. The doubling on the date and the word "Liberty" was unmistakable, with clean, crisp lines that magnified the coin's uniqueness. The $67,000 coin was certified by NGC as MS-66, with full red luster preserved over most of the surfaces despite the off-metal composition. Its color, tone, and sheen were highly unusual, causing immediate buzz when images of the coin surfaced online. It quickly became a viral phenomenon among coin collectors, with videos analyzing its details gaining millions of views across platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. The error was so rare that only a handful of examples were known to exist, and none matched the combination of strike, planchet error, and condition that this specimen possessed. What fueled the coin's myth even more was its discovery. A young woman sorting through her grandfather's military memorabilia box stumbled upon an old bank envelope labeled "Odd Coin, 1950." Inside was the strangely colored penny that had always puzzled the family. She decided to bring it to a coin show where an appraiser immediately recognized its rarity and advised her to send it for grading. Once confirmed as a genuine 1950 off-metal strike with doubling, major auction houses began competing for the opportunity to list it. During the auction, fierce bidding ensued, with collectors recognizing that this coin was not just rare but nearly unique. The final price hit $67,000, setting a record for a 1950 dated wheat penny and cementing its place among the top echelon of error coins in U.S. history. On close inspection, Lincoln's bust on the obverse retained nearly full strike detail, including fine lines in the hair, jawline, and bow tie. The doubling on the date was dramatic enough to be seen with the naked eye, making it one of the most visually striking double dies from any year. The reverse featured unusually well-struck wheat stalks and lettering, aided by the hardness and density of the silver dime planchet, which took on details differently than the usual copper alloy. Collectors and experts alike hailed the coin as a perfect storm of mint error elements: an off-metal strike, double die, high grade, strong strike, and a backstory that added emotional and historical weight. The coin's fame spread far beyond traditional collector circles. Articles were written in national publications, TV segments featured the young woman who found it, and collectors began checking their 1950 pennies with renewed hope after its sale. The 1950 error penny was placed in a high-end private collection specializing in U.S. mint anomalies. Its new owner, an investor known for acquiring elite American coins, called it the most aesthetically perfect mint mistake he had ever seen. The coin was insured for well above its hammer price, with estimates suggesting it could exceed $100,000 in future sales as its fame and scarcity continued to grow. The 1950 wheat penny, a coin that most would overlook as common pocket change, became a reminder to collectors around the world that in the world of numismatics, value is born from imperfection, rarity, and discovery. One wrong planchet, one misplaced piece of metal in the minting process, and history is made. Top 5. The 1951 wheat penny is typically categorized as a common date coin, with well over 1 billion minted between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. For decades, it circulated through the hands of everyday Americans and filled countless coin albums without fanfare. But one 1951 wheat penny changed everything when it sold for an astounding $63,000 due to a stunning mint error and flawless condition. This coin, once dismissed as ordinary, became one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in U.S. history and lit a fire across the collector community. The coin in question was a 1951 Philadelphia minted Lincoln cent, struck on an experimental brass planchet instead of the usual 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc composition. The planchet gave the coin a slightly different color tone, a muted golden hue rather than the standard red or brown tones most wheat cents carry. In addition to the planchet anomaly, the penny also displayed a bold double-die obverse that gave striking visual evidence of its uniqueness. The doubling was especially visible in the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust," with the doubled elements appearing thick and clearly separated under magnification. The coin was graded MS67 plus red by PCGS, an extraordinarily high grade for any 1951 penny, let alone one with such significant errors. Its surfaces were nearly flawless, with sharp strike quality, full luster, and original mint brilliance. The coin had been preserved in a protective holder for decades, untouched by circulation or human contact. Its discovery came when a longtime coin collector in Ohio decided to submit several boxes of old wheat cents for professional grading. The moment this 1951 specimen was examined, experts knew they were dealing with something special. Once photos of the coin hit the internet, the response was explosive. Coin forums erupted with speculation. Error coin collectors began sharing images of their own 1951 cents for comparison, and influencers across social media platforms made videos highlighting the details of this incredible find. The story became viral, with headlines focusing on how a common penny, overlooked for decades, turned out to be worth more than a luxury car.at auction. The coin sparked fierce bidding from collectors who understood its significance. Not only was it an off-metal strike with bold doubling, but its preservation and eye appeal placed it in a class of its own. After dozens of bids and rising anticipation, the hammer finally dropped at $63,000, setting a record for any 1951 wheat penny ever sold. The obverse of the coin showcased Abraham Lincoln's profile with incredible detail, down to the tiny lines in his coat and the full curvature of his cheek and beard. The doubled elements added dramatic depth to the coin's design, while the golden-toned brass planchet gave it a visual identity completely different from any known example. The reverse, with the wheat stalks framing 1 cent and United States of America, appeared with perfect clarity, showing no signs of flattening or strike weakness, further elevating the coin's status. Experts later confirmed the coin was likely struck during a brief transition period at the mint, possibly involving leftover planchets used for foreign coinage contracts or wartime material testing. Whatever the cause, the result was one of the most dramatic minting errors of the 1950s. Its rarity is such that no other coin with the same error, composition, and condition has been publicly confirmed, making this one potentially unique. After the auction, the coin was acquired by a private collector known for curating one of the most elite U.S. mint error collections in existence. It now resides in a climate-controlled vault and has been featured in several major coin exhibitions under high security protection. Its fame has only grown, with numismatic publications ranking it among the top 25 most important Lincoln cents ever discovered. The 1951 wheat penny that sold for $63,000 now serves as a legend in American coin collecting. It reminds both experienced and new collectors that even among the most common coins, extraordinary rarities can be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be recognized, authenticated, and appreciated as pieces of history.